Today we taste the Simple Cyser.
So about 2 years ago, as in April 10th, 2018, we made a super simple Cyser. And there's an article on our blog about it and this and that. This was one of our early brews. Anyway, it got bottled August 1st of 2018. So today is April. April 27th. Hey, you lose track of time during the COVID-19 lockdowns and stuff. Anyway, it's April 27th. So that's March, April, May, June, July, August. It's 5 months from being 2 years in the bottle. So it's worth a taste, right? To all those of you that ask about recycling bottles, of course you can recycle bottles. This is a Buffalo Trace bottle, original cork and everything. And you heard the little pop, right? I'm just going to pour a bit here. Now, this was probably before I did my 2 racking rule and all that kind of stuff.
So there is a little bit of sediment that you can see in the bottom, but it has...
It's got a couple of wispies.
Yeah, but it's pretty...
I think this was made with bread yeast.
Yes,
so,
probably, more than likely.
Yeah, so, that's what happens. You get that little bit of an attenuation problem where if I shook this up, it would just go totally cloudy. This is 11.6% ABV, which is pretty much where bread yeast goes. And right off the bat, it's really clear. I mean, that's crystal clear. You know what? I would say it has just the slightest hint of a haze. I don't want to say it's absolutely crystal clear.
You have to look for it, though, to be honest.
But,
it's not like...
this is a review. So,
Sure.
We'll be honest. Give it a little swirl here.
From here, I can smell it already.
It's a very thick smell. Very heady.
But it's definitely apple. It's got those...
I get a little bit of apple. I get mostly honey. Honestly, I do get a little bit of the sulfide type smell, like the footy smell. Just a touch of it.
I'm not really... It's not reading that to me.
Okay. We're allowed to disagree.
Sure. To me... And it might just be a memory situation. And we've talked about this if you've seen any of our whiskey videos, that your mind tries to associate memories with scents that it can't determine what they actually are. So Brian is getting more of the footy notes where my memory is saying spiced cider. Like
American I do get a little bit
cider.
Of a spiced cider kind of thing to it. A little bit maybe. I'm getting more of a brown sugar fermentation smell than I expected because this is just apple cider and honey. This shouldn't have been anything.
Yeah. It smells more complicated than what it should be.
I'm just going to give it a taste.
I'm hoping it reflects that in the taste as well.
I'll be honest. It's not my favorite thing I've ever made. But I've had this problem with Cysers before. Michael John is the same way. He just doesn't like Cyser.
To me, it's surprisingly acidic on the palate.
It's very acidic.
And that just seems a little odd.
I remember tasting this when we first made it, and it tasted a little sweeter. It tasted a little more rounded. Now it's a more aggressive. It's a little harsher. It's not bad. It's just, I think this is dry, too. I don't think this is sweet at all.
I think this might be something that you would rather taste chilled.
We didn't chill this. This is room temperature.
And again, I hate to reference to it again, but that's the closest reference I have is if you watched any of our whiskey tasting videos, we talk about the different ways of enjoying whiskey and that when you ice it, it tends to knock down some of those flavors. So chilling this may knock the acidity down a bit and bring up the sweetness, which would make this much more pleasant.
That said, after the first sip, going in for another sip, I get more apple. A lot more, like a green apple taste. Definitely getting some sweetness from the honey now. Much more pleasant. Try it again. Take a second sip.
Yeah, the sweetness reads as honey, where when you smell it, it doesn't read as honey, if that makes sense.
It's definitely got an acidic bite to it, and it sticks in the back of your throat as the finish. But it's starting to come across like a dry white wine to me.
Yeah, and if you think of it in the
which
terms
makes it not unpleasant.
Of
My
a dry
first sip, I didn't like it.
White wine, I think that would mentally prepare you for this drink. But
But I also think that because this is the first bit of alcohol that I've had today, I mean, all I've really drank is some water and coffee. It's kind of like when you're doing whiskey and you do that first sip just to acclimate.
Yeah.
I had to acclimate to it, which is unusual. Usually with meads and wines and beers, I don't have to acclimate so much, but maybe that's a thing.
But there's a lovely complexity to it. It
definitely
has that acidity, but then it has the sweetness and a slight hint of the mouthfeel of honey. It's not overly viscous.
Oh yeah, it's got a nice mouthfeel without being overly.
Yeah. And then it's got that fresh, crisp apple that works well with the acidity that you get with it.
But there is one note in there, one bitter, acidic note that hits the back and makes me not really enjoy this. Other than that, this would be very good.
I can appreciate what Brian's saying, but to me, it reminds me more of a cleansing thing that I get from wines that opens up my palate and makes it more receptive to food. So...
Yeah. But before we go into the food pairings, one thing I would like to say, though, is I don't like dry white wine at all. Like, no dry white wine has ever been good to me. I can drink dry red, but I can't do dry white. So that could be this. It also could just be the Cyser thing. Doesn't work for me. Some people say that.
Yeah.
However, I'm not trying to tell people don't make this. Quite the opposite. For as simple as this is,
sure,
it's quite a complex brew.
And if you have appreciation for dry white wines, you may absolutely adore this, and it's certainly an
I wonder, had we back sweetened this with a little bit, if it would have come out even better.
Possibly. So food pairings.
I'm going to finish it.
You go for it. I am thinking seafood.
Yep, fish.
Like a rich, buttery, herbed seafood, and then this would clean your palate.
Yeah, any kind of a white fish that you might cook all the way through. I don't know that this would go so good with like a tuna that you'd keep rare.
Yeah, I don't think tuna or shark would pair well with this.
No, I think this is more like a whitefish.
Yes.
You know, any of your, like a cod or a haddock or, tilapia. All the fish that they say you're not supposed to eat. But like, in a nice butter herby sauce, this would actually enhance that. It doesn't taste like vinegar. Don't anybody say that I said that.
No.
It doesn't taste like vinegar, but it would have a similar effect as a vinegar would.
That cleansing
to fatty foods and things like that.
Right.
It cuts through it, breaks it almost, so that you get a different kind of flavor profile. That's what I have to say on that.
I think even pasta in a butter sauce.
Basically anything that's like that buttery flavor, this would go really well with. Yep. For some reason, butter is coming to mind.
Yep.
Even like an alioli pasta. But I don't know that I'd want this with like a red sauce. Or like a steak. I don't think this would be good. I don't think it complements it at all. No. Definitely like the lighter stuff, like white food. We made this a couple years ago. We do have a video on it. There's an article on it on our blog. And you should try it. I definitely think this is a worthy recipe to make if you're beyond making just a basic mead. This is actually a really simple recipe. It's older, so, I probably have more of a beard, just so you know. And the video quality might not be quite as good as this one. But, hey, times change. We grow. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.